All right, peeps, day 20. For those of you who are new, welcome. We're doing 30 days of journaling. I wrote down a bunch of things this morning, and I was just like, where is the question I want to ask myself? It took me a minute to get there, but as always, I recommend for your journals, get a real journal, get a pencil, find a quiet place that's creative and open and a space for you to reflect. So today I wrote, today is a freestyle. No prompt, just flow. I asked myself this question today, though. How do I keep a positive attitude in my life regardless of the bullshit? I think this is relevant. I think people deal with this. I deal with it. For me, it took a long time before I developed the awareness that everything is outside of my control. Everything is outside of my control. The news, world events, the road rage dude who just cut me off. I have no control over any of these things. However, what I do have control is over myself, my responses and my reactions to the bullshit. What I do have is control over myself, my responses, my reactions to the bullshit. This piece of awareness is gold and has possibly changed my life more than any other. Understanding the only true way to help or change the world is to change myself. This is where it all begins. This is where I started my journey, and this is where my belief it can change comes from. If I can, why can't it? If my evolution is inevitable, why isn't it? Right? That's the idea of if above, so below. If I can change, why can't it? If my evolution is inevitable, isn't it? And the answer is yes, because that's how everything is. Everything's always evolving. It's the beginning of time. So two, the world will evolve. Just because it looks a certain way now doesn't mean it won't look different later. We just don't know that because we've never experienced a world in which it is, let's say, unanimously heaven on earth. I feel like I experience day to day a lot of heaven on earth. It feels just so fun and amazing, and my life is so exciting, and I'm learning new things, and I meet great people, and I'm eating good food, and I get good sleep, and life's good. There have been times in my life where it's been hell, or at least the perception is it's been that way. But if I can evolve, why can't the world? And if I can change, why can't the world? And it all begins with me changing myself. Changing myself is the way in which I'll change the world. So how to change, transform, evolve. Don't resist the change. If people are moving away from you in your life, don't chase them. If you can feel a new chapter of your career is coming, let it come. If you know it's time to go up and wait, do it. And the point of like that paragraph is like really learning to flow with the current in life, like not fighting things. Like there have been times in my life where, let's say in a relationship, the person I was with, I could tell they were pulling away from me because they didn't like me as much as I liked them. And I tried to fight that and hold on. It just made it worse. They're just moving on. This is what it is. Work or a new offer or a new creation, a piece of my company. It's easy for me to want to like keep things the same. Like things are good, maintain them. Let's just keep building. But sometimes it's time to evolve, time to change, time to shift. Don't fight the transitions. Just let the butterfly continue to emerge. It's really, really hard. It takes a lot of practice because it's uncomfortable changing all the time, but it's also exciting. So many new things are happening, and just let it be. Those who flow with the current move faster with less energy. The person who understands this understands life. It's an amazing line. Those who flow with the current move faster with less energy. This is a major theme I try and teach all my clients. This is exactly what has led to me organizing my ideas into the sage, the king, and the scholar, which are just three archetypes that I've been really paying attention to lately and how they work with me, how I work with them, how I see them manifest in the clients and men that I work with, and really just getting this inner sage, this inner king, and this inner scholar on the same page. Like, how does this very wise part of myself, this very powerful part of myself, and this very brilliant part of myself, how do these three communicate together to create the absolute best gram possible that I get to share with the world and change and shift and When I understand the world from the eyes of my inner sage, I see truth and hope. Right? And so I just like broke these three thoughts down because I thought they were kind of cool. When I understand the world from the eyes of my inner sage, I see truth and hope. When I act in accordance with my vision and build something useful, I wield the power of evolution as the king. When I organize, flesh out, and share my ideas, when I communicate them, I share my scholarly discoveries in a simple and effective way. With all of these, with all of this awareness, what is there not to be positive about? Endless and infinite growth await me, and forward and upward I go. And so, like, the original question that I kind of like sat with myself today is like, how do I keep a positive attitude in my life regardless of the bullshit? Understanding that everything's outside my control except for myself. And then with that awareness of myself, not resisting the change and transition of how I'm growing and developing, letting myself grow and develop. A lot of us actually stop ourselves from growing and developing. We're so uncomfortable being uncomfortable that we won't allow ourselves to evolve. It's like knowing as a Charmander that you're supposed to be a Charmeleon, but like literally letting yourself evolve. But then you don't get the new attacks, you don't get the new moves, you don't get to experience what it's like being a Charmeleon or a Charizard. I just feel like that's like, there's a lot of life to be lived that people are just stopping themselves from living because they're holding on so tightly. Let go and flow. Let go and flow. Let go and flow. The current. And amazing things come from that. Yeah, and so just like drop just a bunch of different like things that I thought were really important for me to hear today for myself. And this is, like I said, just a freestyle. And from this, I'm going to develop these ideas further. And I think it's so important to note that when journaling, it's not necessarily about just one prompt or one question. It's about letting the next thought come and be fleshed out, and the next thing, the next. I've been thinking a lot about the sage, the king, and the scholar lately. There might be another one in there somewhere. I'm not seeing it yet, but it's coming. And these are ideas that I want to bring to my community and really share with the men there, and how they can develop these areas of themselves and to be more pronounced men, more present, peaceful, and powerful men. And it's life-changing. And it comes from the beginning question and then the developmental thoughts beyond. Like, this is how you learn how to think, which is so important. Most people don't think. They don't know how to think. This is how you think. You build, you play, you write, you scribble, and things happen. I do these things, and things come together. And now I have new ideas. I'm going to make a course out of this, and people are going to buy it for me. And now I've earned income just by thinking about something that other people haven't thought about, and then taking it and putting it in a way where it's useful to you. That's simple. So it's simple for you. It can be. There's hope there. There's hope everywhere. And how not to be positive when I'm thinking about these things that are so interesting. It's fascinating. I just think people they don't think enough. They're like so in the rut, and they're so in the flow of our culture that they're not actually stepping outside of it and figuring out who they are. Which is probably another conversation, but that's the whole point of Leadership Legends. Figure out who you are, channel that person to the world, big shit happens, everybody wins. Okay, peeps, be good, be safe. Day 20, we are cooking. Peace, peace. Presence, peace, and power be with you. Let's just find a way. I don't know what I'm doing. We out here.